Hi, welcome to another video. Today I want to talk about something that occurred on my live stream on TikTok recently, and I thought they would make a good topic to talk about because honestly I feel pretty strongly about this. So I was live streaming and I had not that many people on, but I had a follower comment that people were making fun of them at school, that they were getting bullied, that they didn't understand why, but they're getting bullied a ton. And I was like, oh my gosh, like these people are obviously jealous of you. They're, in my head, they're bullies. They're jerks. They have absolutely no idea. Like, they're lame. They're losers. And then they begin to, like, me kind of thinking like, why on earth would you make fun of another person unless you just are super bored, And I truly believe that. Like you have nothing better going on. But anyway, and then they go on to say, yeah, it's because I have no friends. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened to your friends? It just kept going. But, this isn't like the worst thing on the planet, but it was just definitely something where I was like, huh. They're like, yeah, I have no friends at all. I keep getting bullied every school I go to. My cousins bully me too. Just like a bunch of things. And I think what really clicked for me, because they kept saying, I have no friends, nobody wants to talk to me, everybody in my life bullies me, everybody. And I was like, there's a common denominator here that is definitely not being shared. So I was just like in the dark. I was like, why would everyone? They're like, I don't know. Maybe they just don't like to hang around failures. They don't like being around. It was immediately that clicked for me. I was like, oh, it was very much because I'm a loser. They don't like to be around like losers, and it's because I'm boring. I'm boring. I'm so lame. I have no fashion sense, self-deprecation. And I said it and I clocked it immediately and I was like, oh, this is not gonna sound great. This is not gonna sound great on the live stream. Cause, not that I'm trying to sound great, because I had to tell them something. And that's gonna be this video. Basically, I had to, hold on. I'm not the biggest fan of this angle. I have art. I realize it looks kind of boring, but I have art. Anyway, I was like, I have to tell you something, and I don't necessarily think you're gonna like it, but this is what it is. You need to cut that out. Like, in 1000% honesty, if I met somebody for the first time and within like an hour, 10 minutes, 5 minutes of me talking to them, they retreat to self-deprecation, I don't want to be friends. I don't want to be friends with somebody like that. I don't want to be friends with someone who's constantly telling me how much of a loser they are. Someone who's telling me how much of a failure they are. Someone who's... And I didn't use those words exactly. I was definitely way like calmer and kinder about it. Because I believe if you're going to be honest, be super kind. Because there's no reason to be honest and mean unless it's deserved. But it definitely wasn't that. I'm like, this kid's in like high school. But yeah, you need to cut that out. That cannot keep going. That cannot go on. You cannot expect people to want to be friends with someone who is a self-labeled loser. Even if that's what you've been told, even if right, because I don't know the whole story. Even if that's what you've been told, even if that's what you truly believe, even if you think it's like all facts point to I'm a loser, you need to cut that out. And I'm not about the manifestation, like I'm the best, I'm the whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that you're a human. You exist and you're real. And that's all you need. But yeah, if I were to meet someone in the minute, within an hour of meeting them, they're talking about how much of a loser they are and how much they don't have any friends because of how much of a loser they are, kind of in a way to pity me to be friends with them. Immediately, one, I'm feeling manipulated and I'm hearing the pity party and the parade. And two, I don't want to be friends with a loser. You're telling me exactly everything I need to hear. And it's not to trick people into friendship. It is not that. That should not be your ammo. And all I'm hearing from a high schooler who's speaking this way is no one has ever taught me how to like properly communicate, how to properly make a friend, how to, I don't know, I never learned self-love. That's all I'm hearing. You're telling me 2 sentences about how much of a loser you think you are, about how much of a failure you are, and all I'm hearing is all of these things. That no one ever taught me how to talk to people, no one ever taught me how to relate to people without bringing myself down to like start the pity party. And I do not, and I said it in the live, I do not excuse bullying in any capacity because of that. But it's good to know that it's good to know that the more likely reason that really good people are having a hard time finding you, because they're around you, especially if you're in school, they exist. I would always say choose your friends, and I would not choose a person who spoke like that. And it's not to like put myself in a higher place, because I'm not a loser, but I don't want to be friends with a loser. None of my friends are losers, and I would never speak that way about them, and I'd never speak that way about myself, because it says something about them. You know what I mean? And that'll work sometimes. Sometimes a super sweet, nice person will hear you talk about how much you get bullied and how you have no friends, and they're like, oh, I'll be your friend. And that's great. But now you've put them in a really weird place of kind of pitying you and feeling sorry. And although I don't believe that's the best way for a friendship to start, it's a method that you're using, and it works sometimes. But clearly, if you have no friends, it's not working, and you have to cut it out. You can't tell people how much of a loser you think you are and expect them to like throw you that party that you've already thrown yourself. You can't do that. And you cannot walk around life like this. Come on, you can't. And I'm not saying you should suddenly turn cocky, and I'm not saying you should suddenly be Mr. Confident. That is not what I'm saying. It's definitely hard. And I don't think anybody should be making fun of you, or, if this is your situation, if you are hearing me right now and you're like, oh, I do that, I need you to recognize that you do that. I need you to cut that out, and I need you to build your personality up, because that is what brings friendship. I need you to have interests, because I know you have them. I need you to figure out how to talk and communicate and ask people questions and be interested. Be interested. I'm being so serious. Be interested in others and be ready to learn something. And also to like have your own standards, because you do not just want to be friends with anybody either. You should not be taking whomever will take you. No, you should be choosing. So I always say this, and I will always tell my followers, like, pick your friends and be a leader, not a follower. Like, be the head, not the tail. Just know that you're interesting, and you're worth a lot. And I don't want to be a motivational speaker. That is not the point of this video. It was really just to like point this out, because I really feel like some people don't recognize, and they bring that all the way to adulthood. And I've met adults older than me who are still speaking this way. And I tell you, it works sometimes. It gets people interested sometimes, and it gets people to be like, oh, that's not what you want. It's not. It's low-key manipulative. No, that is not what you want. You are better. You are better. What the heck? No, if you follow me, you're way better, please. It's not about making others feel sorry about wanting to talk to you. It really is about who you are. Who are you? What do you like? What's your story? Where were you born? What do your parents do? What's your ethnicity? Where have you been? Where do you want to go? Why do you want to go there? What do you want to do? Who do you want to do it with? Who do you want to meet? What do you like to listen to? What do you not like to listen to? What do you like to eat? What do you not like to eat? Why? And a good way to, especially in high school, like join a club, join lots of clubs. You can join more than one. Sports, theater, culinary, engineering, video games. Like movies, books. There's a million things. Oh yeah. That's why I'm never bored at home. There's a million things to fill your time, but also to just connect with other people on. And that's what I love. I love the fact that every time I watch a movie, I've suddenly now made a connection with millions of people who have seen that. And even if we're complete strangers, if we learn that about each other, we suddenly have something, the two of us. With every song I listen to, with every thing I watch, with every game I play, with every influencer I follow, with every hobby I pick up, I'm suddenly connecting with new people because they exist. Hello. With every book I read, every food I try, I'm connecting, and I'll meet somebody one day and I'll be able to say, hey, I saw that, or hey, I watched that, or hey, I cooked that once, I tried. And it's not, and we have something to talk about. And it's not just to have conversation pieces, which is nice, but it's just to also have experiences shared. And then, suddenly you guys could do something together. And it really is about sharing, it's about kindness. Those are the type of people I look for. It's about introduction, learning new things about each other. Like they have this singer that they love, have never heard of, and now I love them. And it's not a requirement to do those things, but it's like, it makes life, I believe, fuller and more meaningful and beautiful. So those are words, but what I'm saying is truly, I just feel like there are ways to connect with people and there's ways to make friends. And you can start with a compliment and you can start with connection, Asking questions is such a big part of that when you meet somebody, when you're trying to make friends. Asking questions and really listening and bouncing from there, Because that's truly it. You're trying to get to know their soul. You're trying to figure out who this person is. It's a mystery. And you ask questions and figure them out. And if they're not connecting with you, that's okay. There's no reason to put yourself down or call yourself a loser. No, there's just really not, especially in high school. What the heck? Because you're worth more. And I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to be a motivational speaker. That is not my goal ever, ever, ever. But I do think it's worth saying, in case you didn't know. But I don't want to hear I hate myself. I don't want to hear I'm so ugly. I don't want to hear, because I'm not, even in high school, I wasn't about being around that. And it wasn't to surround myself with people who are full of themselves. It's all about balance. It's about knowing humbleness. There's a difference between self-deprecation and humbleness, for sure. And learn that difference. Oh my God. Learn it. If you don't know what humbleness is, look it up. You might think you know what it is. Look it up. And one day you're going to run into someone who's truly humble, and it's going to teach you something. And you're going to be like, oh, that's humbleness right there. And it might take you a while to see it and recognize it, but look it up so that you can recognize it when you see it. And that'll teach you something. And you'll meet cocky people, and that'll teach you something. Not to necessarily copy it, but to just to be like, ooh, that's what that is. And then you'll meet people who are like you, who are self-deprecating, and it just drains you, And I'm not saying these people are not worth your time. I'm not saying these people are bad. I'm just saying it's not what I think it's not the method you should be using to make friends. It's definitely not. So when I heard that person on live, this is so long, I'm so sorry. When I heard that person on live talking that way, everything clicked for me. And I don't think that's the reason they necessarily don't have friends, but it definitely doesn't help. So I think that's all I have to say on it, truthfully. Do I have any, I'm trying to think. I think in high school I definitely had one friend like that who would constantly put themselves down. And I think that what that did was teach me how draining it was to always have to pick them up. And I was like, I'm already trying to figure out who I am. I'm already trying, and I don't think I realized this at the time. I'm thinking about it in the terms of my own head now. I'm already trying to pick myself up. I'm already trying to learn about myself. I'm already trying to apply to college. It's so and it feels good to like have someone put themselves down next to you because it makes you feel like you're so cool. But you're constantly trying to uplift them. And I'm not saying cut them off. I'm saying that's a lesson for them to learn, and you don't necessarily have to teach it, but if you do, you can teach it by living as yourself, as knowing yourself and liking yourself. You don't have to love yourself. You don't even have to love yourself right now. But your body feels it, your head feels it when you do. And yeah, it's so much better. Anyway, I think that's all I have for you. So if that follower is watching, because they stopped commenting after I started talking about that a little bit, and you know, my other followers were in agreement with me, so I feel like I wasn't completely off. But if you happen to be watching, or if you feel like you're the type of person to do that, please recognize it. It doesn't have to be true. It doesn't have to be the end. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.